If we remain on the topic of what the narcissist did to you, which is what we were talking about on Monday, I want to make sure that we cover this more at more length, okay? When we are sitting with our narcissist and trying to explain to them what they did to us, we're looking for them to feel badly. We're looking for them to understand how they hurt us. We're looking for them to say, I get that. That's mean. I don't know how I wouldn't have seen that was mean. Here's the thing, though, you guys. The narcissist will never feel bad about what they did. Not really. In fact, they'll justify what they did. They'll justify it. They'll come up with all kinds of reasons they did what they did, and they'll put the blame on you. They'll lie. They'll double talk. They'll word salad. They'll deflect. They'll project. They'll change the subject. They'll do all kinds of things to get you off the topic of pointing out to them what they did wrong. They don't want their truth being brought to their attention. They're fully aware that they're maneuvering through life like a snake. They see their friends who aren't behaving like they are. They see friends who are happily married and don't cheat on their wives or husbands. Insert your own pronoun. Gender doesn't matter. We can make it your own. Mine is he for a romantic partner, so my stories follow that. We always say insert your own pronoun and make the story your own. But they see at the neighborhood barbecue that these people are happy, that these people are happy, that this man doesn't lie to his wife, that this wife doesn't lie to her husband. They know they're not acting with the norm, but they don't care. They think they're entitled to behave the way that they want. And they're not going to feel bad even if they make you think that they can. And can they cry? Yep. But it's fake. And they will say, I mentioned this on Monday, I'd like to elaborate. They will say, I'm sorry. They don't mean it. But when people say, oh, a narcissist will never say they're sorry. Oh, yes, they will. They'll say it over and over and over and over again with the fake tears and the whole big crying and begging and all that business. They'll get really dramatic. But that's why it's not about, oh, well, he owes me an apology. When people say that, I always go, I mean, I've never thought that way, he owes me an apology, because I don't want an apology from you because I think you owe me one. I want an apology from you because you feel sorrow for what you did. So for somebody to go, sorry, like you see that happens with kids. Say sorry to your brother, and that's good. You're teaching the kids, to be sorry. That's how I feel a narcissist is when they say sorry. Even though they're presenting it in a genuine way to sell it to you, they're like the 4-year-old going, sorry. They don't feel sorry. They don't understand. The narcissist doesn't feel remorse. They don't feel guilt or responsibility, or responsibility or sorrow. They definitely don't feel blame. They have a clear conscience because their conscience of righteousness is warped. It's all them all the time. So if you stepped on their toe 12 years ago in the wrong way and they have it out for you, they're going to bring up, well, you stepped on my toe 12 years ago. I'm being ridiculous on purpose because that's how ridiculous their arguments sound. Bringing up 30-year-old items. Are you out of your mind? I feel that once you begin to see all of this clearly, it's like looking at a science experiment when I look at a narcissist maneuvering through the world. These creatures, they morbidly fascinate me. In the darkest way of fascination, they fascinate me. It's alarming how they just maneuver through life without any accountability for the wake of destruction that they leave, and how they really think they're never to blame. They always have an argument how it's your fault, his fault, her fault, the weather's fault, the circumstances' fault, your business partner's fault, the market's fault, the blah, blah, blah. Everything is everyone else's fault. Nothing is their fault. That bad that happened to them. Nothing is their fault. How about you take accountability? But they won't. It's impossible for them to do that. Okay? People who bully, which a narcissist to me is a bully. It's under the umbrella. People who bully have something dreadfully wrong with them. Dreadfully wrong with them. And that's how I look at them now. like an experiment. When I look at them like maneuvering in a room, I just kind of go, yeah, they have something dreadfully wrong with them. Think about what it takes to purposefully bring pain to someone, never feel badly about it, and do it again, laugh when you're upset, tell you you're crazy if you did catch them, and be mad at you for catching them. How dare you catch them, right? But your red flags have been so obvious that, yes, you finally did pick up the phone and look at the phone and find things. You're not a paranoid person who looks at people's phones, but you did because it's been so obvious something's wrong. And sure enough, you find 2 years worth of stuff that have been going on. They're going to tell you you're crazy. You can't trust me. You got to go through my phone. Oh, please. That doesn't mean anything. She doesn't mean anything. He doesn't mean anything. You're crazy for calling them out on it. It's infuriating to watch because they really don't feel bad about what they did, ever. And it's infuriating to see how they will try to justify their hurtful actions that they've bestowed upon people. But now in life, I stand aside from anyone like that. And I recommend you try to infuse your life with the same parameters. I view them as entertainment, like they're in a cage to amuse me. That's how dysfunctional I see them. Like, it's absolutely obvious to me. And the fact that they don't see screaming at someone because someone's trying to talk to them as dysfunctional floors me. Floors me. Floors me. And that's how alarming their behavior is. I really do kind of picture them in a cage, pacing back and forth, frothing at the mouth, being unhappy, can't get what they need out of life, blame everybody else. It's amusing in a morbidly fascinating way. I don't want anyone to be like that. I don't want anyone to be victim like that. I'm not on here schadenfreude saying, ha, they go through life miserable. No. I wish everyone would get help and the world was a kinder place. Unfortunately, people with this disorder do exist. And the part that is fascinatingly unreal is the fact that they don't see it, they will justify it, they will blame somebody else, and they will stand firm on their point that is made from nothing. It's like less stable than quicksand, their point usually. It makes 0 sense, and anyone else on earth would side with you. So you're like, why can't the narcissist understand me? I'm making sense. What he did was blatantly wrong. Why doesn't this make sense to him? Because they don't see. They don't want to see. How can you not see what we all see? But they don't, they won't, they can't, you're not going to make them, and they don't want to. They don't wanna, like a child. I don't wanna, okay? What's more, they'll scream at you when you try to point it out to them. They don't want to hear about their flaws. La, 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 la. Again, like a child. Bullying. That's all it is bullying. You either are one or you're not. The narcissist is definitely under the bullying umbrella. And I won't tolerate any of it anymore, ever again, from anyone. And you shouldn't either. And I'm not telling you to leave. I never do that on this channel because it's a very personal choice. But I am telling you that you can institute measures in your life to keep you safer. You could gray rock. There's a lot of different things that you can do. Now, if you are teetering on leaving, but what's keeping you there is you're hoping that they're going to be the person that you thought that they were, I can tell you, I can save you time. That's not going to happen. That was love bombing. The mask was still on. Now the mask is off. You can't unsee what you've now seen. And they know that. So why would they bother? They might throw a little love bombing at you to breadcrumb you back into staying. They might throw a little love bombing in the Hoover to get you back with them. And they might need you. They might need a place to live. You might be their base of operation. You might be their wife and kids. They're not ready to lose it, but they want to be entitled to behave however they want over here. I'm going to behave however I want. And they're never going to quite understand why it bothers you so much because they don't have the empathy that people without a disordered mind have. If I hurt someone's feelings, I'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know it could be taken that way. That was a mistake. Blah, 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 blah. They'd be like, what do you mean? And they'd scream because you're causing them narcissistic injury, right, men? When you point out their ugly truth to them. Stay safe from this, you guys. I just wanted to mention it. I'll see you Friday.